Alrighty folks, so I'm just going to do this random lesson. I just did some house chores and stuff. I put 10s on my 335 last night, which it should have had all along. I had 9.5s and they were just a little too easy. And this changed it for the good. I'm doing a little lesson today. It's always on creativity. It's always going to be about creativity, but I'm going to use something from Jimmy Page. I'm not playing the song, so it's going to be incorrect. It's not. It's an example about major and minor combinations. And it's also, this is for a friend of mine that's coming up from Florida for the summer. And hopefully these sounds are close. Alright, so this is going to be Chris. This is going to talk about like a little bit about inversions of chords. You got a D minor, but this is also an inversion of it, and how hugely different just an inversion or a piece of something. The creativity thing today, my theme is about when you just do one note different in the same key or of the same chord like this. When you hear this and then you hear this, totally different sound and vibe, but it's still from D minor. And then also the fact that you can take things like this when we go. Alright, so I'll play the example, and I'm not playing the song, so I don't want to hear from him, oh, it's not how it's played, it does this or that. I don't care. I'm using it as an example. I don't learn people's cover stuff because I don't want to put the time in getting it exactly right, and I'm not going to use it if I learn it anyways. So it's always about creativity with me. Learning scale blocks. What I'm pulling from that is the coolness of Jimmy Page, obviously. You know, I used to rag about him, he plays so sloppy and what a hack and all this. And this is years and years ago when I wasn't doing shit with guitar or never had any success with it while he's making tens of millions of dollars. So as I got older, I'm like, you know what? This guy's a freaking genius. He was a session musician before. Now I want to steal this piece, just this, and do something of my own with just them two chords. You know, and for me, dissecting just those two like that, I could use D harmonic minor. What word? What? You know, just as an example of some places I can go with that. But my point with this is, when you take that A major, and then he does this inversion of a D minor, which, if you just took that same shape, right, and you added in this note, it'd be a B flat. You know, it would totally, wait a minute, what am I doing? Yeah, sorry. God, I'm telling you, it'd be a B flat major 7. Isn't that crazy? Just from that one note change. And he's also using, so he's going from that to a diminished here, you know, which is also, you can find these things in other places. And then you got an E minor in there. He's, you know, bar chord. And then a D major 7 here. But, you know, I think he might be doing just a high note. If you really wanted to play the song, you'd have to get down to, is he hitting that open A there or not? And really hear it. And because of, or just. So cool. But what I want to talk about is these inversions and the major 7 stuff. And this is for creativity. I mean, he's going from an E minor, which might be not using the low E, I don't know. I don't really care about the infinite details. I'll bet you he played it live sometime, strumming the whole thing, you know. It's about dynamics. So in every note that you hit creates a feeling when you're working on creativity. So I wanted to touch on the major 7 stuff because I also just watched a Quinn Sullivan, and I posted it on my timeline, doing I don't know who originally wrote the song, but Clapton did it. Quinn Sullivan reminds me of a young Eric Clapton. Why Does Love Have to Be So Hard, I think is a song. And he's doing this, you know, heavy with the major 7s, you know. Take an A minor chord, this is what I wanted to really touch on today, the minor to the major. If you take that same A minor shape and you move it up, 1, 2, 3, 4 frets, without changing that A minor, it becomes an A major 7. Go figure, right? You can add in the high one. I wouldn't play that high A and it don't sound right. There's another example of something that you gotta find just the notes to play that make something sound right. It's okay to play that open E because you got one here already in the chord. But you don't want that high note. It sounds like shit, even though that's an A note and it's an A major 7. So there's so much stuff in creativity that you want to find, and it's really important to figure out what notes to leave out a lot of times, you know what I mean? Because I've been doing a lot of, as I've talked about before, stuff with just 2-string things and droning an open A, for example. And that's all from the key of D. Go figure, you know? But I'm playing towards flavoring that A chord on that D. So this is about creativity. So taking an A minor, and you just move that up 4 frets, and you've got this killer, and while you're there, and then you do the same shape that this D minor inversion is, you know, right here? Well, it's a D minor with a add 9 or whatever you'd call that, or a sharp, whatever the hell that would be, because you got an open E note included in it. If it sounds good, it is good, you know? So then you take that same minor of the D, and you slide that up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you've got a D major 7. So that, why does love have to be so bad or hard, whatever the song is, you know? He's doing a lot of that. These are the things I'm starting to dig, because I beat to death the blues, the 1-4-5, the minor pentatonic, that I don't even want to hear it for a while. Yeah, I love it, I do it and have the days, but there's other stuff is my point. A minor, move that exact thing up with the A included, the open A, move that up 4 frets. Your major 7 note is this note. I know it sounds disgusting right there, but that's your major 7 because 1, 2. That's your major 7 note in the scale of A major. You don't think of these things when you just walk up a scale, but I do. I sit down now and I go, okay. And then I'll even sit with that one note and go, so out of A major, what would I do leaning towards that B out of the key of A major? You know, that'd be Dorian, B Dorian. What's in that C sharp note out of the A major? See? There's something in each one of those notes. There's chords there, and I'm only touching on one chord, for an example, because in any key, your basics is an A major is a major, 2 minors. That minor chord doesn't mean, that B minor chord doesn't mean I would use the B minor scale. I wouldn't. If it's in the context of an A major, I'd use B Dorian. And I touched on that before. It's always going to be Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian. Natural minor would be here in A, on F sharp for natural minor. But I want to start touching on and digging into taking the simple do, re, mi. And that's what I think Page and all these songs these people come up with. They're taking an inversion, but they're not necessarily in that key, that D minor. It's funny because you got, and you take that same shape and you can move it here, and it's a whole nother animal. It's a major 7 chord. You know, in the context of this A minor, moved up 4 frets, A major 7. It's a version of an A major 7. Any chord we talk about, there's a gazillion ways you can play and get a flavor of that chord. All you need is a first, third, and if it's a major 7, you need that major 7 note in there to emphasize that flavor, you know. In this case, it's right here. And that sounds disgusting in itself, but then you add in this, and then you add in this, and now it sounds like something. Whatever. So that's the lesson today is we want to start digging in and finding other things. Break away from that same old shit, different day, you know what I mean? And I really, when I played just this, I want to go. So my creativity, our influences are from mine. I've been influenced by Page back in the day, and many others, Clapton, and all kinds of people, country people, all that. And now it's about starting to take that influence and create your own stuff, you know. But I love that whole progression is just so crazy, you know, that you got that diminished. I would have never come up with this. So badass, but we can learn from these things. All right, so there you go. Just a little lesson on major 7 stuff, or from major to minor. Whatever, you know. You know, start looking for shit. anyways, it's just off the cuff, like, whatever. So when you get back, if we're going to get together and do stuff, we want to learn some shit and create our own stuff. You know, I don't want to play the fucking backing tracks off of YouTube and go to the same shit. I can't even, just the thought of it gets me, ugh. Anyways, have a good day.